got slack, pushing for greatness, never looking back. Fear the roar, check the score. Can't ignore talent, strength in the Lord. Lions in the pack, never got slack, pushing for greatness, never looking back. Fear the roar, check the score. Can't ignore talent, strength in the Lord. Lions in the pack, never got slack, pushing for greatness, never looking back. Fear the roar, check the score. Can't ignore talent, strength in the Lord. SAGU is the place to be, is the place to be.
Good evening and welcome to the Schaefer Center here in Waxahachie, Texas, home of your Lady Lions volleyball. Tonight we have a very, very special presentation. It is the first round of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament. And if you don't know how that works, well, you stay tuned and we'll lay it all out for you. But first, we want to go courtside with our very own Riker Russell. She is with Coach Hank Moore. Riker, tell us what Coach Moore has to say.
Thanks, John. Coach Moore, tonight's game will make it the third time that you've played MACU this season. In fact, you just traveled to them Saturday and beat them in 3 very close and intense sets. How do you carry that momentum into tonight's game?
Well, you hope that carries over, but at the beginning of this postseason play, everybody's 0-0, so big night for us. We're going to come out and play our game and do the things that we know we need to do to win.
MACU's outside junior hitter, Hannah F., and senior outside hitter, Elena H., led their team in points and kills at both times that you played them. So what do you do to take away their front row game?
Well, I don't know that you ever take those kids out completely. What we try to do is slow them down. If you understood the stats, Hannah had 15 kills against us, but she also had 10 hitting errors. 8 of those were us blocking her. So if you do that, you're going to win.
And tonight, if you win tonight's game, then you play the winner of the OCU versus OPSU game. How would tonight's game get you ready for the semifinals on Friday?
Well, it gives us a chance, and that's all you can ask for is a chance at this time of year. If you get a chance to play, you're blessed. So that's what we're looking for is a chance to maybe get to play them again.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck tonight. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Riker. Coach Moore laid it out there. Devin. By the way, Devin Webb is our color analyst for the night. I forgot to introduce you. Sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I don't know if everyone else will. But Coach Moore put emphasis on don't get content. You can't walk into this just because you've won the last 2 matches against them. And by the way, it was the most recent win that you had. You can't just walk into this content.
And I think, we were looking at the scores of the last 2 times that SAGU played MACU, and while they took each match in 3 sets, the scores were fairly close. So I think, Coach Moore has been around the game long enough, has been coaching long enough to know that the minute you get comfortable, as he was talking about, and you think that you have the game in the bag, that's when the other team has so much to fight for, and they're going to come out with everything that they have. So the biggest point spread we saw was a 25-17 set loss, and so that is not a whole lot. Most of them were maybe 3 or 4 points away from each other. So the Lady Lions are really going to have to come out and start strong here, because really statistically these teams are pretty even on paper.
It's true, and this wouldn't be considered a trap game necessarily. It's a first round. It's a tournament game. It's one and done. You lose, you go home. And they do have home court advantage. But here's the deal. You can't rest on your laurels or your past wins in this case and just think it's going to come to you, because you mentioned it. Those games, they played 6 and they won 6, but it's very important to understand they were very, very close. Right now we're going to go courtside with the national anthem and the starting lineups. We'll be back with more stats and information.
Stripes and bright stars through And now the starting lineups for the Evangels. At defensive specialist, freshman number 2, Faith Fouch. Defensive specialist, sophomore number 4, Kaylee Walker. Right side, freshman number 7, Maddie Calico. Outside hitter, junior number 12, Hannah Faulkner. At setter, senior number 17, Alexa Bass. Middle blocker, senior number 18, Diane Walter. And at libero, junior number 8, Megan Plunt. Head coach is Kevin Fitzgibbon. And now the starting lineups for your SAGU Lady Lions. At middle hitter, senior number 3, Madeline Hartline. At outside hitter, sophomore number 4, Alexis Mueller. Outside hitter, freshman number 5, Ava Myers. At center, senior number 8, Sophia Ivy. Middle hitter, freshman number 11, Emma Tompkins. Middle hitter, sophomore number 18, Jancy Akers. And at libero, junior number 10, Nikki Almager. Head coach for the Lady Lions in his 19th season is Hank Moore. Assistant coach is Nick Moore. And student assistant coach is Jessica Sodich.
And there you have it, the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. Mid-America Christian University and your SAGU Lady Lions. We also want to say Happy Veterans Day to all of you that have served in our armed forces. We want to thank you for your service and thank you for watching tonight. Now, Devin, we were talking about not taking this game for granted, but if we look in on some of the stats that got us here between these two teams for the year, you can see that a lot of these stats are very, very similar when you look at the per game kills, the per game service aces, the per game defense, offense. A lot of similarities. MACU does come in with a better service ace per game percentage, and they also have more digs. So those are two things that we identify as that make a strong team, and is the defense. And if you can hold off a team defensively, that means you're giving yourself at least an extra opportunity to score. So on serve receive, that's a very, very important stat there. They come in dead even at 93%. So it's going to be interesting. I think whoever wins the battle of the serve receive tonight will win this match.
Yeah, and
What say you?
I think, we talk a lot on the broadcast about how important serve receive is, and obviously common sense would say that because that's the first contact that you make. That's what sets up the entire play. But when you are a setter out on the floor and you're controlling the ball in a free ball situation and in a serve receive situation, you have in your head strategically placed plays that you know after watching film and learning about the other team on the other side of the net. You pick these plays for a reason, and so you strategically want to be able to run these trick plays, and you just can't do that without a good pass. So both of these teams on paper have great passing percentages, but this game is going to be about who can put the ball away and finish a play, and who can be the most error-free when it comes to blocking and serve.
And here we go. First serve of this match.
And that's a great example there of a good swing by the Lady Lions, and kind of an unforced error by MACU reaching up, not really knowing where you're at on the floor. That ball very well could have gone long, but they stick that one arm out in an effort to just make some kind of touch for an error.
Emma Tompkins gets it over. That's the big hitter, Hannah Fokker. She is the driving force up front for offense for the Lady Evangels, and she does a fantastic job coming in tonight with a very good percentage rate. We'll get you that soon.
It's a great swing down the line by Emma Tompkins there. We see a lot of cross-court shots from her, so she's coming out early today, hitting that down-the-line shot, and it's working well for her, obviously.
There you go. That is a bit of, I guess it was up there. Would that qualify for a happy birthday?
It would. They attempted it to be a happy birthday, and we returned it for a not-so-happy birthday.
That was very, very quickly done. Super smart play by Hartline. Hartline gets another block. Two in a row there. Up front you have Tompkins, Hartline, and Myers. Your libero. Let that play out there. That looked like it would have been pretty easily to be fielded. So kind of a shank defensive play there.
Yeah, and we've seen two of those here recently by Sophia Ivy, and you know that there are many things to be said about how you should be playing defense. One of Coach Moore's kind of pride and joy qualities as a coach is teaching you to always keep your arms square inside your hips, because the minute you let your arms outside of your hips, you lose a lot of the control on the ball. So we've seen Ivy there take her arms even just an inch or two outside of her hips, and you lose control, resulting in that shank play there. So that's one of the many reasons that Coach Moore teaches that technique.
Parker with the hit. Easy block again by Hartline. That's the setter, Sophie Ivy, that gets the dig on that play. There was a great set by Almaguer. Here we go. Horton with the service ace. There's one. They're about 0.8 away from getting their per game average on aces early in this game. Horton again, serve. Joust at the net by the blocking wall duo of Hartline and Myers.
And it's obviously much easier to have a controlled play off of a serve, or even a free ball, of course, but we've seen a lot of aggressive blocking on the Lady Lions side, which is really difficult to recover. So MACU, if you've seen, they've been kind of out of rotation nearly every play, just trying to keep the ball up in the air, and that's a testament to the great blocking that Hartline is putting up on the front line, because you can't really ever know where a ball's going to go when it's blocked, and so that aggression at the net is really working in their favor.
So on MACU's side, offensively at the front line, it's had Shiva and Bass going to do the swing work. That's off of Fokker. That's an easy point for your Lady Lions. Now Ava Myers steps back to do the service duty. Bass gets it to Hashiva. Hashiva's a big, powerful scoring force for the Lady Evangels. Fouch gets it over. Mealer does work to get it over. Big set to Hartline. Oh, that is in for the Lady Evangels.
Tricky call there. The line judge called it out, but R1 can overrule and did so in this case.
And we saw it clearly up here. We have a good vantage point, and it was definitely in. Bass gets it over with a semi-kill attempt. Shiva saves one, gets it over. Good hit by Bass. Ariel Horton winds up behind the 10-foot line. Hashiva, no go, but gets the block back in play. Bass to hit Shiva. It's blocked. And then that goes off. Lindley, Rebecca Lindley dives, tries to get it, just a little late, and it goes off into the crowd.
And a really great testament to the ball control of the Lady Lions here tonight is we've seen so much of their offense really just inches from the net with, as we see, that second service error here, discounting those 2 aces that we have, but that's okay. We'll move forward. But anyway, you can see the plays right at the net, just inches away for the Lady Lions, and a lot of MACU's plays have been at the 10-foot line, if not further back, and you really want to try and have the ball right on the net because the further back you get, the easier it is to block. So we've seen them time and time again get that ball under control on the Lady Lions side and make that aggressive offensive play.
Good system play by SAGU there.
Serving Sophia Ivy.
Miller with the kill. Three youngsters up front, 2 sophomores and a freshman. I've set that just a little low. It looked like Tompkins, or I'm sorry, Akers out jumped it a little bit, so she hit it down below her shoulder.
Serving Kaylee Walker.
We kind of caught the Lady Lions standing up on that defensive play, waiting for the block recovery, which you don't even have a split second to get down into a defensive formation when you're trying to cover that block, which is a crucial part of that defensive play.
And which is why Coach Moore constantly preaches, stay in your defensive position, be ready. Good placement by Miller. Stalaby gets it in play. Bass with the set. Stalaby with the set. Ava Myers comes up short. Rare mistake by Myers, unforced like that.
That would have been a great look, though. She saw that 10-foot line right behind the block, so she knew what she was doing.
Going back to Myers. Good hustle by MACU. Just weren't able to get the third one over. A great hustle. Back to Fokker. Just a little bit long. Bass gets it over to Fokker, and it gets bounced back with the good block. What happened there?
So if you can see on this replay, if we can make it all the way to the end, you see Hartline jump up as MACU setter going up to reach. So because Hartline made contact with the ball, she's considered over the net.
Because they still had an actual hit left.
But technically, the setter is supposed to be going up with 2 hands for that call to be valid, and she only went up with 1. So as Coach Moore always says, the ball never lies, so Hartline comes back and scores.
You and your superstition.
She is vindicated.
Serving Ariel Horton.
Ariel Horton back to serve. One of SAGU's best service, and just as I say that, that didn't just go long. It went really long.
Home run.
That was a home run. Fokker is now going to serve. Nice serve. Gets it to Horton. Horton does her job, but on the big swing, it just floats out to the right.
So you see her shoulders facing the right side of the floor already, which would have been fine had she just swung all the way straight through, but she coupled that with a little bit of turn on her wrist, making that ball go just a little bit wide.
Now serving Ava Myers.
Still pretty tight race here, 15-11. Ava Meyer. Achieva gets it blocked. Bass. Myers gets it over. Oh, big hit. Oh! Alexa Bass almost drills the line, just barely out. Myers still to serve. Good effort by Ava Myers to get it over. Here comes Achieva. Good hit on it. Well received. Oh, that just looked broken up. The communication between, I believe it was Mealer, and Mealer stepped out. Myers got a little confused, then got late to the ball.
Yeah, those out-of-system plays, you've got to decide early on who's going to take it, and verbal communication is the only way to avoid something like that.
There you go. Hardline gets it over on the slide play. Mealer gets set up quick. Hardline gets it over long. Alexa Bass can hit it hard. It's well received. And Ariel Horton tries a little roll shot from the 10-foot line. Did not work.
She's really going to have to get out of her own head there, because those are 3 unforced errors solely on her based on her contact with the ball. So she, like you said, has been such a consistent force for the Lady Lions, so she's really going to have to shake off those errors and come out strong.
Mishit by Mealer. She just did not connect, and she swung hard. Yep, just kind of missed it, and it goes in the net. Easy little shot to the open part of the court.
That's the first dump we've seen all night, and it's obvious that they were not prepared for that. Nobody even moved.
Yeah, well, that was sneaky by the setter, which she will do that several times a match. Mealer with a big hit. So you got Akers, Ivy, and Mealer on the front row now. MACU gets a timeout. They want to discuss things before it gets too far out of control. It's only 4. 4 is not a number that is unachievable at this point in the game. And I guess technically there's no number, as long as it's not 25, that you can't come back from. But it increasingly gets more and more difficult the closer you get to 25 to have to come back. But at this point, still 7 more points to get to the win. So quite a lot of work left for SAGU.
Well, and this is what I find so fascinating about the game of volleyball, is the momentum shifts so quickly and so many times often through a 25 point set. And just before this timeout was called, the Lady Lions made several errors in a row, and MACU felt like, okay, the momentum is shifting to their side of the floor. They've got some potential. The lead is diminishing, but then they call a timeout after just a couple more points, getting close to the end.
And you see there, John Brown is playing host in their first round tournament game up in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Just the 3-point lead over the number 6. That's a great hit by Walter, Diane Walter.
And that's a great timeout there. You want the momentum after a timeout like that.
Great point. Credit to the coach. He should get a point. A kudo. 2 points now. There's one of their aces. That's Alexa Bass. She always comes to this gym and plays well. Horton receives. Mealer winds up, gets a big hit, but it's blocked. It's Shiva. There you go. That's 3 straight points.
So it's going to be interesting to see if this continues, how long Coach Moore is going to let this go.
I say if there's one more point, we're going to hear a whistle.
Yeah, it'll be a 4-0 run.
Good hit by Bass. Bass is on a roll. She sets now, gets it over to Shiva, and here we go. 4th point in a row after a timeout. He's contemplating. You can see it on his face over there. I'm not going to panic. It's first set. If this was third set, maybe.
He'd be panicking.
5 points in a row, and now MACU has the lead.
And here's that whistle.
And there it was. And he thought to himself, I should have caught it. Should have caught it earlier.
Well, you always hope that your team will be able to pull that out and
Yep.
make the changes necessary on the floor before you have to call a timeout. And Coach Moore is one to believe in his team to be able to do that. So he really only steps in when he truly feels it's necessary. He is not one to waste a timeout. So, we'll see here. He even gives the team time to talk amongst themselves before he goes in, and that's always been a strategic part of his. He wants the team to talk about what they need to do on the floor since he's not one of the 6 out there.
Well, and I think MACU should look up here to the press box and give me a little high five, because I believed in him. I said it really wasn't unachievable. It was very possible.
Shame on you.
And what?
What
I
I
don't
meant,
agree
this
with
is a platonic broadcast. Excuse me.
It is. It's we're always going to be slanted SAGU, but we'll never be biased. We enjoy a good, entertaining match. We don't want it to be a blowout by any means, and we love it when great teams like MACU come into the house, because we know it's going to be a good match. And right now, they're on their way to trying to snag the first set of this all-important tournament, first-round tournament match. Hachiva. Ariel Horton to Bass. Good set. Little dump. Gets it to Mealer. Mealer off of 2 feet. Gets up, gets it over. Bass with a great set, just a little bit outside. And that was Medi Calico. Keeps it. I should say the blocking wall gets this knotted back up and stops a 6-point run or a 5-point run. Keeps the 6th one from happening. Calico gets it over, punches. Ava Myers. That was good defense, MACU. It's Sheba. There was she saw the opening there. A lot of distance, if you look here, between Ivy and Almaguer. She threaded the needle and got it in there. Made it very hard for Almaguer to get a good dig.
And that's a tricky play for Almaguer to make too. You know, there's really no way to tell if that's going to be in or out because of the speed of the ball. So you've got to do your best, as she did, to make that contact. And that's.
Oh, she made a good effort. It was just well placed. Calico gets it over, quickly blocked by Akers. Miller tools the block. And it is SAGU point. Now, there's a true race going on in the Schaefer Center right now. Brittany Stalaby got to make something good happen here. Down 1.
And this is the point
Bacher.
spread that we've been used to seeing with these two teams.
Yes. Yes, this is exactly, now it's 21-21. Both in the first set, little trivia, in the first set in both matches away and home for SAGU against MACU went into extra innings. I don't know how to say. I don't know what
Extra points.
Extra points, I guess. That's boring. Give me some overtime, something.
Happy birthday.
There it is, Emma Tompkins. It's well deflected up at the net, and then the libero gets the dig, but it goes right back to Emma Tompkins, and she knows what to do with it. Bass to Fokker. Fokker just gets it in, hammers it home. Knots it up.
Yeah, they just went straight through the block there. Block was technically closed, but she just went through the hands of Emma Tompkins.
Ava Myers gets a big hit. Oh, that was very, very nice. Wow. Fouch. With the left. Oh, that was beautiful. Great play.
Tompkins there with a great recovery of her own swing.
And there's Ava Myers, knots it up at 23. Now this is what we were talking about a little bit before the game, is that the serve receive comes in and is also important on these stressful points. And you're seeing MACU do what they do best, and that is play the defensive part very well. Gives them a chance. That's off the net, not off the hand. Very important because it goes out. If Tompkins would have touched that. So close. Wow, she tries to go down the line, and it was so close.
And especially at this point in a set, we talk a lot about playing error-free volleyball. Of course, you want to do that all throughout a match. But when you're down to these last 2 points, now 1 point for the Lady Lions, you can't make errors like that. And granted, you have to walk the line between playing that error-free ball and not being too safe so that you're, not doing anything aggressive. But at the same time, you have to place an extra focus on doing the little things right. So there's a lot going on in the minds of the MACU players out on the floor in this moment. A lot is on the line because the first set, as we know, really can set the tone for the rest of the match. And as we've seen, this could be history repeating itself, which of course MACU does not want that. But we have seen the Lady Lions fight even harder past set number 1. So all they need right here is an over and in serve. That's what MACU is attempting to do, and icing the server, icing Almaguer, a very consistent server for the Lady Lions. So right here, her only job is to get over and in. There's no fancy tricks other than just getting the ball in play.
Opportunity to score. And it's going to go back to Fokker. Miss hit. That was two kill errors and on their leader. But what a close game. What a close game. I was a little concerned it was going to go to Fokker, and she was just going to really lay into it and get that kill because she knew the last one was her bad. And you know, sometimes when you know it, pressure's on the line, you tend to respond.
Well, and those 2 errors there at the end of the set that cost MACU the game, both touched by Fokker at the very end, which, of course, there's so much more that happened throughout the set that doesn't at all mean that it's her responsibility, of course, because it's a team sport. But that's a very unfortunate ending for the go-to offensive player for that team, and she has a big mental battle to overcome going into set number 2 here.
So I was noticing that MACU seemed to come out, I don't want to say they're tight, but they got their game face on. And not quite as loose as maybe the last time we saw them when they came in the gym mid-season, and just a little more relaxed. They know this is a one-and-done situation. They'd like to come in and upset the Lady Lions, and you could just kind of see the pressure in the demeanor. And it's not that I think they're tight, but there is a little more. Let's do some work. Let's get the business done tonight.
And that's a tricky place to be because you, of course, want to be focused and motivated, but the minute you get too in your head and think too much about how much is at stake and how you really need to win this game or your season's over, those kinds of things, you defeat yourself before you even get out on the floor. So there's a really delicate balance between having that focus and that motivation to win, but also being able to relax and have fun so that you can do the little things right and you don't overthink and get in your own head. So I fully believe that volleyball is just as much a mental sport as it is a physical sport.
Absolutely. Well, athletics sports generally are 80-20. My brother taught me this when I was young and inspiring, not inspiring, but aspiring. I was a young aspiring athlete, and he says the sooner that I understood that 80% of this game was won mentally before you ever tapped into your talent. And it's so true. After years and years of playing sports and athletics, a lot of it is a brain game. And if you can get the confidence and you can convince yourself and have that positive outflow, it usually flows into your athletic ability very, very nicely. And, you know, talent is talent. It is what it is. But I think you can have the most talented people in the world, and if they don't know how to execute the game plan well, then give me 5 moderately talented, 6 moderately talented players in a volleyball match at least that know how to execute a game plan. I'll take that one any day over the more talented and lesser IQ, I guess you would say, of the sport, not intelligence overall, but of the sport. Nicely done by Almaguer and Ivy. Emma Tompkins. Big swing. Gets it over to Mealer, and Mealer just crushes one down the line.
Great swing there by Mealer.
Look at this. She gets all the way through. Mealer floats like a butterfly. I mean, she has a lot of hang time.
Stings like a bee.
That one definitely stung like a bee. Oh, just over the head of Brower. Sophie Ivy to serve.
There's an ace.
Got the ace. That was a great face that Kaylee Walker had as she caught the ball off the bounce. Ah! That was a great hit.
And Walter point MACU.
Right over the middle. Fantastic hit by Walter. Walter gets it in. And not received very well by Myers, and then puts Tompkins in a very tricky situation to have to go after it. I didn't see what the call was there.
It's a net violation on Tompkins. You see there
Oh,
her
yeah,
foot.
she did. She got over the line.
The rules have changed so many times, so now your foot can go under the line if it doesn't interfere with the play at all. But right there, you saw Tompkins' foot just a little too close for comfort to the defensive player, so that's a referee judgment call there.
Okay. Good defense. Oh, it was tipped, I believe, by Jancy Akers, and the ball was redirected.
And Walter point MACU.
Yep.
Serve 9 Walter. Point SAGU.
Great swing there by Mueller, and
Yeah.
she's so fun to watch because she can hit aggressively like that from any part of the floor, any space. You give her the set, and she can put the ball away, which is a sign of a very, very great hitter.
Ooh, that was hard to tell. You had to
You
take
saw her
it.
mental anguish there.
Yeah, you did. Like, do I let it go? I got to get it. From that angle, it looks like it was going out, but it was coming down very fast. Could have been on the line. Smart play. I'll give her the credit for trying. And that was in.
From Tompkins, point SAGU.
Walker tries to tool the block here. Actually does a good job. They were just a little over to the left inside and takes a fortunate SAGU bounce. Ooh, very close again.
Too close for comfort.
Yeah, and I like that play by Kaylee Walker. Look at that. Wow, so close. She had the right idea.
It's a smart free ball. You always want to try and send the free ball to that position on the floor. So very strategic and smart, like you said.
And Tompkins winds up. Gets those long arms, that tall frame extended out. A lot of momentum and force being created right there. It's a tough one to get. Stalaby. And that's going to be long.
Point SAGU.
Now 5-point lead on the Lions.
I was feeling a timeout coming here
Yeah.
because this has been a really long point run, and the Lady Lions are just gaining momentum, gaining confidence, and doing more and more aggressive plays, which towards the end of set number 1, we saw them playing really safe, doing a lot of roll shots from the back row, not really hitting aggressively for fear of making a mistake. And that timidity is obviously gone now, and they're playing more aggressive.
And there you see John Brown playing host to one of the other first round sites in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Wayland Baptist has come to town. And we're trying to dash the hopes and dreams of John Brown getting to a tournament championship. The tournament championship will get any team except Oklahoma City University to a national tournament, NAIA national tournament berth. OCU is already in because they won the conference season title. And I have predicted that OCU will make it to the Final Four of the national tournament. Some people think that's a limb. I think it's more like a tree trunk. If you've seen the OCU play this year, I just don't know who's going to beat them. They beat the number one early this season. They beat the number one ranked team in the nation at the time pretty well. Wow, Abel Myers really dials that one in. That's just too much heat to handle. It's a cold night.
We need the heat.
Gotta warm up the gym somehow.
And this is the biggest point spread that we've seen in this match so far. The Lady Lions have just really pulled ahead here, taking advantage of the momentum of each play. Yeah, that double contact, you kind of saw Sophie Ivy, she knew it. Her feet aren't square, her hips aren't square. She's just trying to get
Shove
the
it
ball.
up there.
Yeah, so it's no surprise to her on that call.
MACU. Nice serve down the line. Well received by Myers. Good block by Jancy Akers. That's what she does so well.
That was kind of unexpected because it cleared the outside block and then made contact with Akers' hands a little bit later. I was honestly already looking on the back line of the Lady Lions side, looking for the ball.
Well, Alexa Bass is a great hitter for this team. And there, just as I say it, she gets a good set to Fokker. Fokker just delivers. Fokker checking the air pressure in the ball. Wow, very nice. Tompkins getting back into her early season groove where she was just lights out.
Very nicely placed ball right there.
Serving Ariel Horton.
Ariel Horton to serve. Gets it in. Bass. It was blocked. Back to Horton. Ivy to hard line. This goes to Bass. Bass hits it real hard, and it goes out. Horton digs it, but in the dig, it's a return over the net and out of bounds. Plunk, serve. Myers. Quick hands with Stalaby gets it in. Hachiva tries the roll. You saw her think about it, change her mind right at the last second because there was a huge opening. And
Deep there.
yeah, Horton kind of started her run in. Nicely played by the Lady Lions. Mealer goes down the line again. She likes that. Looks like it's feeling good. Oh, beautiful recognition by Sophie Ivy. That was awesome. I agree fully. Wow. Great play, Sophie Ivy. Mealer goes back down the line towards the block. It's out. Good hit from Mealer. A roll goes off the top of the net. Quite lucky for Mealer.
Aggressive tip there by Hartline.
Yep, well, it was a little bit out of her reach. Oh, that was in. What a great recognition as to where to put the ball by Alexa Bass. That was nice. Oh, couldn't do it any better because it would have been out of bounds. Plunk, nice set across the court. Shiva going back for it. That would have been in. Almaguer out of place. Shanks it off to Horton, and Horton couldn't handle it. Here comes Bass with the service. MACU not giving up yet. Horton. Nice 10-foot line hit. Blocked by Hartline. Shiva. Nicely hit to the back. You're not handling the last few very well.
You see how important it is to have your shoulders square toward the court. It's very hard to not have your shoulders that way and have an arm stuck out somewhere and still be able to keep it in play.
Miss Mealer. Bring in the noise. Heating up the gym. That was very nice. Her kill percentage is pretty good. Pretty good tonight.
Great placement there. An open spot for the Lady Lions that by numbers, that's called the 5 position on the floor. Open, completely open defensively. And depending on what kind of defense you're running, you're either going to have a person there or trust the block for that. And right there, MACU saw that the Lady Lions were trusting the block, saw the hole and went directly for that spot for a point there. And followed by Mealer making a hitting error into the net, which is very uncommon for her. Especially tonight, we've seen her hitting really, really, really strong.
Parker gets it. She was in great position to get a quick put back to some out of position Lions. And Coach Moore has seen enough. He knows that MACU is capable of getting this thing going on a run and getting this thing knotted up or even getting ahead. Almost the exact same thing happened last set. They were down 4, reeled off 5 quick ones after MACU took a timeout. So he beat him to the punch this time. And not going to let MACU get on the run.
That's a really smart call because we saw the momentum shift for the Lady Lions last set. And really MACU ran away with the game and pulled it really close there at the end. So Coach Moore wants to take advantage of the lead that they have here in set 2 and not give that up and give the Lady Lions a little bit of cushion to hopefully take this match in 3 as they have the other 2 this season against MACU. And there we see the final
Oklahoma
match
City.
Results.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise.
I'd like to see the breakout on that scores at least. OCU is just on a tear. They have not lost since the first day they started this season. Very, very well hit by Calico.
And point by point, we can begin to feel MACU getting more and more excited
Yep.
as they make aggressive plays like that, catch the Lady Lions on their heels.
Been there, done that. They're wearing that shirt, so in their minds. They can do this again. Walker with a great hit. Good defense by Almaguer. Bass with a good defense. Gets it over to Falker, and no. Again with a mistake trying to go down the line of the net and just didn't get it over. She saw the opening.
Well, with a tight set like that, she only has so many options, right? So,
Right.
Granted, the court was open where she was going, but it's really difficult as a hitter to set yourself up for success when your set is so tight on the net. So her options were very limited in that scenario.
Oh, yeah. Miller, so quick. Her tall frame just gets her there. Rising above. Look at this. Boom.
And she's able
Perfect.
to recover from being low on defense and right off the bat get right back up and hit an aggressive play like that. Such great athleticism there.
Good block. That's the big hit. Back to Falker. Oh, Almaguer really sacrificing it all to try to get that. And back to Miller, but it gets blocked. And that was a great block.
We haven't seen a lot like that that are not recovered at least somewhat by the Lady Lions.
Nice fake by Akers, but it didn't fool anybody. Here we go.
Returned by a beautiful block there.
Yeah, that was. Fouch gets it over. Very interesting to see Faith Fouch involved in blocking schemes. As small as she is, she can really rise up high. A punch over.
Yeah, to see her short frame in the middle of the court.
I
there is
know,
not-
it's kind of wow, but her athleticism really gets her up vertically. Oh,
Interesting play there.
yeah, that was.
Very lucky shot there.
Or as they would probably say, yeah, that was well executed.
Either one.
I guess it's all about who you talk to. Oh, there, now that was very fortunate. That's Ryan Hell doing the service duties there. Gets it in the net, but the net was forgiving and rolled over to a good point. Ava Myers, wow. Huge dig there. Stalaby with a one-handed dig. She just gets it over free ball. Fouch, tricky left hand, and it goes reverse side. And Jancy Akers doing what she does best, absolutely best. Timing and getting in the right place at the right time for a great block. That's a good effort by Almaguer to try to get that up. Goes into the net.
And we are back again with a really tight point spread after the Lady Lions pulled ahead with a huge lead. MACU has not given up.
Oh, costly error by Fokker. Ariel Horton serves. Uh-oh, happy birthday to Ava Myers. Not really, but symbolically.
And I think in set number 1, we had a similar timeout. The Lady Lions were at 24. MACU was, I believe, at 21. So we see a really similar vibe going in set number 2 here, fighting point for point. And if you remember, MACU pulled ahead after this timeout that they called in the first set. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep that same momentum and the same mantra that they've had over these last several matches of coming back at the end, making it a really, really close fight for the Lady Lions.
Right. This is going to be set point. Here come the Lady Lions out of the huddle. Coach Moore, I'm sure, encouraging his young ladies to finish the fight strongly. Don't give MACU a chance because you've seen them run 5 straight off. You know they can do it. Don't give them a chance. And there it is. Set point. Up. Maddie Hartline reports, self-reports, she touched the ball. That's because she's got an incredible vertical leap. And there's 2 of the 5 that MACU needs. 24-21. Same score. Oh, wow. Great heads-up play. Good block. Oh, that's going to fall in. Almaguri couldn't get in front of it, so she just desperately tries to get it up and play. 3-point run. Myers finishes it off by tooling the block. This is a big hit. Man, the force with which she hits the ball is pretty impressive. I'm being told that Michael Russell is down with assistant coach Nick Moore, and Nick's got a few ideas about what's going on down there. Riker, what does Coach Moore have to say?
Thanks, John. Coach, the entire front row has played very aggressive on defense and executed well on offense. Tell me about how good these girls are playing.
Yeah, they're playing really, really well. We're being strong at the net with the block. We're touching a lot of things. That's the biggest thing. If we can just touch it and slow it down, it makes it easier for our offense. When they've had the opportunities to swing, they are, and it's been good. Statistically, MACU and SAGU are very similar, but what sets the lines apart when they get on the court? Yeah, we're just I don't want to be mean. They're better in the serving game and serve-receive game than we are, but I think our overall team is a little bit more athletic. So it's an interesting matchup on pure ball control versus just raw athleticism at times. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Riker. Well, that says it all. Kind of.
Kind of.
You know, it's important. You can't just give up and think, well, we're up 2. It's going to be easy to get this third one, because we've seen that happen so many times this year that SAGU will come and get a little too relaxed. You want to play relaxed, like you said earlier, but there's that fine line. You can't get too relaxed. You got to stay very focused, and that is what I'm sure Coach Moore is drawing up on his clipboard in the huddle right now. Stay focused.
And one of the 2 times that the Lady Lions and MACU have been matched up together this season, one of those 2, the third set, was that biggest deficit we talked about at the beginning of this match at 25-17. So it'll, and then the other time was a much closer spread in the 20-point range. So that is what we have seen. We've seen 2 different, still not a really far spread. But tonight, if the Lady Lions take this in 3 sets, I'll be interested to see which of the 2 MACU decides to be tonight, if they really keep fighting and stay focused as Coach Moore is encouraging his team to do, or if they will feel a little bit defeated and allow the Lady Lions to pull ahead.
Yeah, this will be very interesting. We have seen in the score sheets as of the past that MACU has a tendency to let things go, and this is one and done. It's technically will not be their, from what we've been told, not their last match. It will be for the SAGU Athletic Conference if they lose this match, but they are a part of the National Christian College Association, which has a national tournament that gets regionalized first. So there is a likelihood, a high probability, I would say, that SAGU doesn't get invited to the NAIA national tournament, which would put them in contention and eligible for the NCCAA national tournament. And the regional on that will be held in Colorado. And both of these teams, since they are in the Southwest, same region, would end up playing. And if they both won out, they could play in the regional championship to get to the national finals. Stalaby couldn't handle it. Good hit by Bass. Myers putting a little bit of a recipe together for some hot sauce of her own right. It's like we got a ref's timeout for libero shoe time. Oh, wow. Great dig by Ivy. And that goes out.
Great out-of-system play there. Defense was excellent by Ivy. A very, very clean dig, and then great push out to the outside to kind of switch up the defense's focus from one side of the floor to the other. Followed by a boomer then of course.
Well, I will say it is maybe the most improved from the beginning of the season to the end. It is one of the stats that really stick out to me after following all these games that these young ladies have improved on greatly, is not committing so many service errors. It was a great hit by Falco. And again.
Nine.
Yeah,
There you go.
and again. Service error. Ariel Horton back to serve. Tucker gets it over. And nicely tooled off the block the opposite way. Usually you don't want to go on the inside. But when you can hit as hard as Ava Myers, I don't guess it matters. There's Horton.
Great serve with 0 spin. Beautiful serve.
Oh, that was a quick reaction. Quick by Megan Plunk.
And that set there by Ivy showed excellent athleticism. She was moving, her body was going one direction, and she was able to somehow stop mid-motion and push all of her force to get the ball to the other side of the net, and no spin on the ball, making for a great offensive setup.
And you see Ariel Horton saying, my bad. I know I can do better. That's a hard hit ball to handle though. Blocker to serve. Here's to Ava Myers. Oh, great quick hands by Almaguer. Myers gets a little dump over. And that was surprising to me that no one got to that. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So that was just a judgment call Mueller made on the fly there. No one yelled, and it looked like Mueller thought maybe it was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, really unfortunate miscommunication. Simple mistake, but it's going to happen sometimes.
Yep. Hachiba. Horton rolls it over from the 10-foot line. And Bass, she swings hard. Goes in the net, so it takes some steam off of it. Ooh, Mueller. It did not get to the block, so just went on the tape of the net.
But the Lady Lions did the right thing there. I mean, you play until you hear the whistle, so there was a chance that there was some small touch on the ball. Unfortunately, in this case, it didn't work out that way. Great scrappy play there. Libero a bit frustrated that miscommunication happened, understandably so.
Close set here, 8-7. MACU not letting it get away from them like they have in the last 2 sets, and really trying to work some magic in a big comeback. Maybe they have some late set magic, and if you don't have to come back from anything, well, could lead to getting to 25 first.
That was a great example there of never giving up on that.
Yeah. Plunk is just doing an outstanding job. Mueller with a big hit. Plunk delivers. Wow. What a great over. Bass gets it over. Big rally here. Big rally. Both teams, lots of free balls. Oh, great block by Jesse Akers.
That's the way you want to finish a rally like that.
Oh, wow. Lexi Alexander just kind of looked at it here. Oh, I was supposed to get that. My bad.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. I got it next time, Coach. Ooh, another ace. I like they really try to work that back line so much. Do a great job at it. And that's why they are averaging 2.2 service aces per set. Myers working the back row this time. A little different angle of attack for her in the middle and the back line. So understandably, she's got to work that out in her focus. But it was so much different. I can see why she would be hitting it in the net. Now it's 10 to 10. Do not
we
look.
are back at the point for point fight.
I think this is exactly how MACU really needs to be able to set themselves up for a good thing and a win, is just point to point, fight it out all the way to the end, and then just try to exploit and get two up right at the end. Because you see, they go into extra points a lot.
AKA extra innings.
Or overtime. Or added time. Depends on what sport you like the most.
Stoppage time, is that soccer?
Added time and stoppage time used to be a thing, but I don't think it's a thing anymore. They say added time. But they've put some, which we've seen a little bit, a little wide. But they've added some soccer rules to volleyball this year.
You can kick with your
You
foot.
can kick with your foot. Doesn't have to be fixed to the floor. Stalaby, that's it. She said, my B, my B. I understand the frustration. Woo! Ava Myers. That's a great dig by Sophie Ivy. Bass gets a good set. Ooh, that could have been a nasty collision. Don't look now. We know the ending, the way it comes out, but watch. Ooh, they pulled up. Oh, good block. That was the duo. There used to be an old cartoon called Mutt and Jeff.
I think that was before.
It was before my time. I just I had older siblings, and I believe they read that. Somehow it got into my knowledge base. But anyway, it was Big and Little, best friends, and that's kind of the duo, the blocking duo of Fokker and Fouch. F&F. But Fouch, she can really rise off. So, yeah, she could get up off the floor and kind of get as high as Fokker.
See Coach Moore always calm and collected in his timeouts. Something when I played for him, I loved that about him. You know, he had just the right amount of fire when he needed to, but kept a level head and always very logical when the team was down. And this is the biggest lead we've seen on the MACU side in this match, and still Coach Moore remains calm and just knows how to get business done in 30-second time.
Well, I know that Coach Moore is, he's more of a lover than a fighter, but can be an absolute beast of a fighter if he needs to be. But he understands the intellectual power and that mind game that we were talking about earlier. And putting too much emotion into it can actually detract from the intelligence quotient of the game. So he's really mastered that part of his emotions and manages that very, very well, and has become an absolute beast of a strategist. That is why he's in the top 20 all-time most winningest coaches in women's volleyball. He's got over 400 wins. They've been piling up so fast lately. I think he's probably close to 410, maybe a little bit over 410. And his win percentage puts him right at 21. And that was at the beginning of the year. So over 19 years, he has just put some great seasons, and you've been a part of a few of those seasons with him. So you would know this even better than I.
You see that unfortunate call there. Sophie Ivy aggressively trying to go make a play, but she's on the back row, so a back row attack is called. And MACU continues to lead now 16-12.
Great hit from the Tompkins. If she gets on a roll, that is going to be Mealer, Tompkins, and Myers. If the three of them really hit their stride here in postseason play, they could do some damage. They could really be a spoiler to some of these veteran teams in the national picture. They could just make their way to the championship game. That means they got to beat the juggernaut OCU. But if that happens, and they're one of the few teams, by the way, put an asterisk right here on this note. They're one of the few teams this year that has actually taken a set from OCU. Oh my. That was a really good effort by Ariel Horton. Just a fantastic hit there. Plum gets it in. Mealer. Oh. A little confusion as to who was going to be where Alexa Bass does a lot of setting for this team. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if they're running a 6-2, but there seems to be a duality in who handles the sets, and it's kind of equal. So Bass handles a lot of sets, just like right there. But she's also a power hitter. So she plays that outside hitter role. And that's where you saw the communication kind of break down on that last one, where she went to the outside hitter role, and I believe it was Walter didn't take the set. So little things. And there's Bass over the middle.
A team can run a 6-2 or not, but you're going to have times where the setter will take that first ball. So you always want to have someone clearly designated to take that second ball. A lot of times it's going to be a libero, but there are times where that's not the case. And I remember playing for Coach Moore. This philosophy, I'm sure of his, has never changed, but he is adamant that everyone on the floor is a setter. And we've seen in this game especially, there's been a lot of scrappy play, a lot of just trying to keep the ball in play, out of system balls all over the place. And we have seen a lot of different number jerseys on the floor take that second ball with their hands and make a good play. And that is a testament to Coach Moore's philosophy that everyone should be a setter. No one should be afraid to take the ball Granted, you still want to have the designated person to avoid confusion, but you really want everyone to feel confident in taking that second ball, because the last thing you want is for fear to take over in that moment and someone not know what to do if the second ball comes to them.
Very well explained. Glad that you are here with me, because I could have never so eloquently articulated that. Thank you, Ms. Webb.
And you see John Brown there, high-fiving Leyland Baptist for a 3-0 win.
So John Brown makes it to the Final Four. They will play the number 2 Texas Wesleyan if Wesleyan gets the win tonight. Oh, there's Alexander to get it over. And, oh! Good effort by Myers to try to get that back over, but no go. And MACU doing what they got to do. They are staying on top, playing the role of the aggressor, and usually where SAGU is. So now SAGU trying to climb the mountain of despair. That's long. Notching it up by 1. Now Sophie Ivy to serve. Oh my goodness, that was well played by Almaguer just to get there. No one will ever debate Almaguer's level of intensity and desire to play. She's always giving it 100%. It's going to be a free ball over. MACU could do it, and they did. They're going to go ahead by 3, 21-18.
And of course, we're here at the point in the set where we cannot get a lead like this if you're on the Lady Lions side of the floor. So you see Coach Moore utilizing that timeout here very strategically towards the end of the set. And this is the point where the Lady Lions have to decide that they're not going to let any more points go, because we don't have the flexibility on that side of the floor anymore. They've really got to make that decision because MACU is fighting point for point and is getting closer to taking set number 3.
Saw the SAGU 3 coaches there making some pre-huddle decisions. Now Coach Moore is going to talk it out with the 6 that are on the floor. Let's see, Texas Wesleyan has advanced over Southwestern Christian University. And so John Brown and Texas Wesleyan will play. Oklahoma City has advanced. Now it's up to SAGU and MACU to decide who will be in that 4th place spot. MACU, oh my. That was a decision like, is it going to go long or not? And you got to make this quick decision. She had kind of committed to letting it go and then realized, oh no, it's going to be in. Jancy Akers, wow.
Great swing there.
Yeah, it just great things happen when she's on the court. It just seems to always go right. She is one of those players that has a lot of tangibles, but a lot of intangibles. And she's just a difference maker. Big time player. Falker extending the lead, getting really close to winning a set. Don't look now, but MACU could be the first underdog, the bottom side of the tournament bracket, to win a set tonight. That is out. You see it come at you. Yep. Bit of a mountain to climb for the Lady Lions. If they're going to pull this one off, they're going to have to get a bit of a streak going at some point. Oh, that was a big hit, but a great dig by Almaguer. Walker dumps it over. And that was touched at the net. You should be able to see it well here. Ooh, I don't know. But wasn't protested too hard, so maybe it just did. Oh. So what is the ruling on that? Can she, this a double touch, right? But if she's not trying to set, does it have to be?
Well, she was. She went up with both hands there.
Okay. Fair enough.
But, you always tell the referee, just let him play at that point. Like, you don't want to make a call like that at this point in the set.
Big hit by Alexa Bass to steal a set from the Lady Lions. And we talked about it. It's easy to go up two, and that's been kind of one of the mantras of this young Lions squad, is that they have not handled success absolutely the best way. They get up quite a bit, and they just let off the gas pedal just a little too much. And teams will steal one from them. But all you're doing is encouraging them to come back with a little more fire, and they know they can get one. Well, why can't we get two? Why can't we get three? It's one and done, so expect MACU to come out with a lot of fire and trying to repeat that last one.
We saw that they really, really wanted it there. Their Lady Lions never really got an opportunity to pull ahead as they did in set number two. It was a point-for-point fight all the way up until MACU took the lead. They're about halfway through the set, and we saw Coach Moore do everything he could to get that lead gone by calling timeouts. But there's only so much you can do as a coach. You strategically use your timeouts. You encourage your team. You do everything you can. But at the end of the day, we know it's up to the 6 on the floor at the time. And right then, it just showed that I think MACU wanted it more than the Lions did. And so you're right when you say they have to come out here and try to take that back. Because if not, MACU is ready to take 2 and then 3 from them in the match.
Yep. And that's not unheard of by any stretch of the imagination, especially on paper when you compare these two teams. They look a lot alike. And one of the key statistics that really works out in the favor of MACU is the whole serve-receive. They are just as good as the Lady Lions in serve-receive, and they have a little better stat line on overall match and game defense. So they dig just a little bit better in percentage. We could see that there was a little bit of a breakdown in the concentration level and just some more errant shanks on the digs by the Lady Lions in the last set. Still a little loose. You can see Lady Lions are not coming out tight. Got a lot of the handshakes. Harline and Horton reported in first, and then they came out before the first serve. I'm going to need you to explain that one again to me. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering why that is, but it happens all the time.
You can't have the libero in your starting lineup. Right there you see Emma Tompkins ready to take set number 4.
Okay.
She's not playing around with that
Nope.
swing. But you can't have the libero out there for the starting lineup, so you've got to have, typically the libero will come in and out for a middle blocker. So you've got to have their numbers on the paper that you turn into the referee. And so then you'll see that immediate substitution happen before the serve to get the libero on the back row.
I still have questions, but we'll go to game action. MACU playing fabulous defense. Again, Almaguer pushes it over, it gets hit, and it goes out of bounds. SAGU point. All right. Do you not think that rule is a little bit, or maybe even a lot of bit, silly?
I don't, because the libero is only allowed to serve for one person. So you have to, the book has to keep track of who the libero is coming in and out for, because if for some reason the libero forgets, as has happened before, if the libero forgets that they've already served for this person and they serve for another person that has a different jersey number than what's on the books, then it's a violation and the point goes to the other team. So believe it or not, it happens very rarely, but there are some violations that have happened that make the rule necessary.
Well, I think if you just make it easier and just say, hey, the libero can serve whenever they want, I mean, in rotation, and you don't put those limitations. I mean, why single out the libero? What has the libero done to deserve such harsh treatment by the Rules Committee?
You sound like you want to give the libero a participation ribbon.
I would be more than willing and happy to give Nikki Almaguer a participation. I think that was the right way to say it.
Well, honestly, the libero, because they're a specialist on the back row, typically hand in hand that comes with them being one of the best, if not the best server on the team, at least the most consistent. So those parameters are put in place to avoid an unfair advantage for any given team with the libero serving
All
skills.
that sounds like an excuse to be a jerseyist.
I didn't make the rules. I just followed them. And
Just
know, and know
because
them.
they wear a different colored jersey doesn't mean you should treat them differently. If you're with me, go to Twitter right now. Let's start. Free the libero. I think there needs to be equal treatment of the libero. Or as I was watching one of the Division I broadcasts the other night, the libero.
Libero, yeah, that's technically the right way to say it, but us here in America, we get lazy. Libero is a bit easier.
Ooh. That was hit just a little too hard by Alexa Bass. But it's 4-4. I think MACU has finally gotten the hint. If they don't let the other team ahead by a point or more, they're going to be in it to win it. And that was, I believe, down the line. It did not get touched. It was close. Sophie Ivy pulled back just at the last millisecond. Vouch.
Excellent placement there. You saw her
She was
wrist turn.
very happy about that.
Her wrist took the perfect turn right there to get the ball placed exactly in the hole.
She is an enigma to the front line, standing in at about 4'11". Not quite. She's a little taller than that, but she is not very big. She's big as a half a minute. And her athleticism and her willpower, you can just tell, gives her a competitive advantage. Good block. But a nice tooling the block by Ava Myers. Ariel Horton to serve. Achieva. Oh, now that would have been gotten by Hell if Bass wouldn't have reacted there. She just kind of, it looked like her reflexes were just, I got to get it, it's going to hit the ground. But Hell would have gotten that. Achieva puts it right in the block of Heartline and Ivy.
And I just love Heartline's celebration. No matter what, she knows how to get the team pumped up.
Lions up by 1. Plunk gets it in. Goes to Myers. Good defense by MACU. Hashiva. Back to the 10-foot line. Horton gets it over. Hashiva again, but it gets touched. Knotted back up. 8-8. Horton again with a big swing from the 10-foot line. Hell did what she could. Just was a little flatlined there, went into the net. It's going to be Ava Myers to serve. Oh, shanked off on the serve receive there. And Rebecca Lindley lets everybody know it's my fault. Oh, that was a nice serve by Myers. Good effort. But Myers and Horton just couldn't handle it. Bass back to serve. Hard line. She does that so well, Devin. So well.
And typically, when you're hitting from the middle of the court, you never want to go directly down the center like that ball just did. You're trained to always go either corner to corner because you have so much less square footage to cover when you're hitting from the middle of the floor. So when you go to a corner, you've got more, which makes for less hitting errors. But right there, Heartline is so good at getting on top of the ball and hitting down, so it works for her.
Walter really brings the heat from the middle here. Horton couldn't handle it. Staying close. MACU believes. Jancy Akers got a very high hitting percentage this match. She hasn't taken many, but the swings she has taken have been very, very good and effective. Wow. Again. Walter from the middle. Mueller. Oh, and that was out. And they're saying trying to figure out what the R1 was saying. Did she say they touched it? She did.
Yeah, it swept just barely off of her arms, reaching back for it.
All right. Now that puts Stalaby back to serve. Oh, bit of a shank by Fokker. Nice by Fouch. Fouch with a happy birthday. Not many of those have happened, but her athleticism really showed up in a big way there because that had to be a quick jump. She got up quickly. And the lefty, I just like the way it looks when the lefty swings. You don't see it much. Nice hit by Tompkins. Mishandled. Gets it over. Stalaby gets it over. Free ball. Fouch. Tooled the block just barely. Wow.
That's one of those that almost happens in slow motion.
It did.
She's already on the ground, and you just hope that it's going out of bounds.
We were just playing it back in real time there. Actually, it was in slow motion. Took slow motion and made it even slower. Oh, nice save. Oh. Didn't fool Hartline. Now the Lady Lions get their biggest lead of the match. Almaguer gets it back in play. Bouch with the left. That's out. Fokker back to serve. Bass, wow. Just snuck that one in off of the block. It goes straight down. Too much space between the blocking wall and the net. Bass makes him pay.
Return the favor.
Woo.
Ooh, that was
Somebody check the air pressure in that ball. Because I'm sure it's not the same as what it had before she hit it.
I don't know. You know all about air pressure. Being
Here we
a
go.
Patriots
Here we
fan.
go. Okay, here we go. I do.
I
do, and
had
I know cold air takes a lot of pressure out of a ball. So if you want to go ahead and start that debate, don't poke the bull
Cold air.
unless you want the horns.
Cold air, Tom Brady, synonymous.
Poke the bull. You just keep poking the bull. Here we go. Just gets it over. Oh, good block. Myers takes a big swing.
To watch that replay here, the Lady Lions are pretty
was
passionate
close.
about the touch. Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, that happened so fast. And it was high. I mean, it had no chance. Megan Plunk delivers the serve back from the 10-foot line, Ariel Horton. Oh, nice little pull-up fake, the big swing, and just a dump touch into the right area. Don't look now. MACU has the lead. Ava Myers knots it back up. 17-17. Getting on the short rows. The intensity is leveling up at this point in the Schaefer Center. The Plunk understands it was a costly error. But she's got the eye of the tiger. They're going to go back to her. Wow. Heshiba delivers a tool of the block on the inside to get it back to a tie ball game. One of the best servers. Bass. That's a good set there, but mishandled by Heshiba. It's a good block.
Soccer play there.
Yeah. Well, you do what you can. Rules allow it. And that was a great block by Maddie Hartline. Alexander gets it in. Big hit, but that's out by Ariel Horton. It is still tied up 19-19. Oh, first hitting error I've seen Jancy Akers make. And we don't see her usually come from the outside like that. So that was a fake to Mealer and Akers. Oh, great dive by Megan Plunk. Mealer, wow, Plunk is really playing well. Oh, it's a little long.
The Matrix.
That was a great rally. That was such a great rally. Ooh. Almaguer's hair almost touched the ball. Get that ponytail under control, Missy. Plunk is really playing well. Oh, that is a fantastic block by Mealer and Jancy Akers. I think Jancy Akers got most of that. Yep. And then a timeout by MACU. It's just been going back and forth.
My stress
Left
levels,
hook,
stress
right
levels
hook.
can't handle this.
It's a great match. It's great fight by the Lady Evangels to come in such a crucial type of moment. It's a one and done. It's the first round of the tournament. And you know you really need to get a win and extend your life, your playing life, at least one more round. And nothing better to come in to the Schaefer Center and beat SAGU on their floor. So you know these are the talking points for MACU. And they're feeling it. Look at them. They're feeling it. Or you can't see it right now, but they're loose, relaxed.
Dancing.
They're trying to stay out of the way of being uptight and playing excited. They know that they're in this and they have a chance to win. Wow. That's a big hit. So exciting. I love matches like this. Sets. So much fun. Jancy Akers. She makes up for the last one. The only error that I've actually seen her make in the match. And she's back to regular form. Just killing. Yes, that was a pun.
I just got it. Took me a second.
You got pregnancy brain?
And blonde hair. It's a bad combination.
Oh, my. Fokker will not let this MACU team die. Hill gets it in. It's off the net. Oh, great dig. Oh, just a little wide. She saw the opportunity. No one can seem to win their own service point over the last 12 services. The defense has come out the victor. Again, 23-23. It's officially deuce ball game. Fokker back to serve. Fourth set. SAGU leads 2-1. Tompkins. Good defense by Stalaby. Tompkins gets it back over. They're going to Bass. Ooh, good dig by Almaguer. Stalaby. No, Ava Myers gets it over with a bit of a half hit. The last 13 serves have gone to the defense. Time out. MACU takes their second and last timeout of the set. This is going to be 4 set point as well as match point.
Of course, you can't hear it on the broadcast, but we can hear it from up here. The noise in the gym just then before
they
that
can hear it.
timeout. They can? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they can hear it. You just can't hear it.
Well, we can feel the rumbling.
Yes, we can feel it. We're in a press box that keeps us from being directly affected by the noise, but we can kind of still feel the energy and some of the noise is seeping through. It's so loud in there. What a great match. The fans are getting on their feet. Coach Moore still holding on to his team in the huddle. They break, they come out. Maddie Hartline has nothing but business on her mind. The fans are up. Everybody's on their feet. Ariel Horton gets it in. Bass. Tahasheva. Oh, and the defense once again wins another point. It's deuce ball game. 24-24. But the score doesn't even matter now. Doesn't even matter. You just got to win by 2. Megan Plunk. Great defense by Bass. Picks it up. And the hit tools the block. First offensive point. And now.
Can't breathe.
And now, Coach Moore is forced to take a timeout. What a great timeout by MACU. They come out and get the next 2 points. They were down 1, and now they're up 1. You got to win by 2. This is greatness. Love it. So exciting. I hope you can feel it on the other side of that screen you're looking at. So much fun. NAIA Women's Volleyball, first round of the tournament. 3 of the 4 teams have been decided already. This is to fill the number 4 spot. It is only set 4 though, so it's not. Now it's not match point. It's for set point to extend the match into a set 5. But this would be huge. Plunk gets it in. Goes to Ivy. Going to Myers. It gets blocked. Easily put over. Now, Bass had a hard one to handle. Hell had to get it up. Got it out to the side. Put her out of position so she could only do what she could do. Very bad angle to put that back into play. Now it's tied up. Got to win by 2.
The plot thickens.
I like it. Achieva. Horton gets the chicken wing out there. Mealer. Achieva keeps it alive. Bass. Woo! Delivers a big hit. Plunk still playing to win. Horton. Plunk with another dig. Achieva.
Double contact. Woo! Oh, that's a risky play there. Woo.
Wow. Wow. I don't know. I look at that and I say, that's too close. You got to let them play. That's in. And I believe that knots it up. It is deuce ball game once again. As said a moment ago, Ms. Risweb, the plot thickens.
I can't breathe again.
This is awesome. Oh, great hit by Ariel Horton. Found a little extra spicy mustard to put on that ball. Wow. That was a great clutch hit by Ariel Horton from well beyond the 10-foot line. Alexander gets it in. Oh, little change of pace from the middle hitter. Didn't try to crush it, just kind of moderately rolled it over with a little bit of extra momentum and threw the pacing off of the dig. There. Ooh! Alexis Mealer. Look at this. She gets fully turned in, hits the exact spot where she was aiming. What a fantastic hit. SAGU up by 1. Sophie Ivy to Plunk, to Bass, to Hetchy. No, that's Walter. Walter from the middle again. A lot of extra innings going on. The house is rowdy. Oh my. Deuce ball game. Walter gets it in. That was mishit. And Mealer couldn't get to it. Now advantage MACU. Another timeout by Coach Moore. He has used his second and last timeout of the set.
I've lost count of how many game points we've been at this set.
Game points? Well, since it was 23, 24, and it's been tied up back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game point ties. So, and it's swapped a couple times in that. There's been 5 game points and 7 deuces. So 7 ties.
Too much math. I'll let you do that one. I trust you.
Well, I just counted the numbers. And wow, that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Well, it can only be that way because of rally score. So it kind of becomes obvious. Big hit. That was Tompkins. Bass gets it over to Fokker. Oh, Jancy Aker with a rare error, but couldn't come at a worse time. And do not look now if you are a Lions fan. But you're going to want to stare at that screen if you're a Lady Evangels fan, fans of MACU. Let me tell you something. You can be proud of these young ladies. They were down 2-0 and did not lose heart. Came out swinging and fighting. Did what they had to do. And now they've knotted this matchup 2 sets to 2 sets. That's what happens when you believe, Devin.
There can be miracles.
When you believe.
When you believe.
Just believe.
Let's all sing that song together for the start of set 5.
Well, the team captains met with the R2, referee number 2, to decide which side. So here's how it lays out. The 5th set is not like it's a little more unusual than the other sets. So max score is 15. Still have to win by 2. But after the 8th point is had, you can choose to, well, no, you don't choose to. You do switch, but you choose before the set starts what side you want. Is that done by a coin toss, or how do they decide who chooses?
So first things first, the captains decide. They do a coin toss just like a lot of sports.
Okay.
Whoever wins the coin toss then gets the selection of, would you rather have a certain side or would you rather have serve or receive? So you get one choice between those two things.
Got it.
And the other that you don't choose goes to the other team.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a lot of decision making happening before set number 5.
So what it looks like to me is that whoever did the choosing, they chose to kind of keep it the same way as it ended in set 4. So SAGU will stay on the same side that they just lost on.
And if I know Coach Moore, if they won the coin toss, they would always select receive.
Okay.
That is, he wants that first chance to attack the ball.
So we should know who won the coin toss by whoever serves the ball first, right?
Well, theoretically, yes. Some teams want the first serve, just depending on the coaching philosophy. But it wouldn't surprise me if MACU wanted to start on this side because of that superstition that we've joked about. They had a ton of momentum there at the end of set 4.
Dev, it's almost more than a superstition at this point because it just seems to be true.
And we are left to wonder.
Wow.
The beauty of sports.
Yes. I love it. So exciting. What a great Tuesday evening. So here we go. MACU serves. And they get the first point. Ivy gives the signal. Goes to Mueller. Mueller gets it in. Good defense. Fokker. It's a good block.
Back row attack there called on MACU.
So that was.
So what I want to say, because Fokker got up to hit the ball, but what I think may have happened, I couldn't see on the replay, but I think their libero probably set the ball with her hands in front of the 10-foot line.
Okay,
which
so
then
it means she has to be on the floor.
Yeah, you can't jump. Right.
So many libero rules.
They are so discriminated against, don't you think?
I do. Should I go through my soapbox for the new viewers that are on?
I think you should spare
the last hour. Tompkins, but MACU does a great job digging that out. Nice roll. Oh, but still MACU committed to excellent defense. Myers said, okay, not playing around now. Going to bring the heat. That's some spicy mustard. Almaguer serves. Goes to Falker. Faith Fouch. Wow.
This is crazy.
2-2. A lot of concentration by Hale. Gets it in. Goes to the middle. Maddie hard line. Nothing but business. 3-3. Ariel Horton. Good serve. Wow. Just right hook, left hook. Who's going to fall? I mean, this has been amazing for at least the last 20 points. It's just been back and forth. Again, tied up. Good block, hard line. Causes the free ball to get over. Mealer gets it. Puts the Lions in the advantage slot. 5-4. Now Ava Meyer steps in to the service box. Happy birthday. Sophie Ivy. And that's 6-4. Finally, a 2-point lead. I'm trying to read the lips of the MACU coach.
I'm trying to read what's going on
between Coach Moore and the R2.
Well, yeah, you saw at the end there, Ivy hit that great play, and she had some words to say to the other side of the floor. No clue what she said, but I have a feeling there was something that was going on between someone on the other side of the court. So, I'm trying to
in a competitive atmosphere like that, that is totally normal. And
I wish they wore mics so I could do a football.
Oh, man.
Hear what was going on.
That would be a lot of fun. Need to talk to our volleyball producer, James Lex, about that.
Come on, James.
Get it together, man. Ava Myers going to go back for her third serve. Bass gets it back in, but it's a free ball. Maddie Hardline just elated to be able to get that point. Now SAGU moving 3 points ahead. This hasn't happened in quite a while. Bass sets. Fouch gets it in. She rotates through. Now Walter checks in. Plunk. At Shiva. Oh, good block. Sophie Ivy, look at this one-handed block. Wow. Now they switch sides at the 8-point mark. Everybody's tense. Everybody's tight.
Cut the tension with a knife.
Thank you, Coach. Just encouraging his young ladies. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Believe. Lexi Alexander waiting for the floor to be cleaned, and she will do the serving duties. Gets it in. Slide play, and that drops in. Walter, very excited about what she has done. And she should be, because that was an excellent hit. The degree of difficulty was high. Mealer tools the block. It goes out. Still a 3-point game. This is Sophie Ivy to serve. Going to 15 in this set number 5. Oh, that drops in. That's an ace.
We've hit the 5-point home stretch for the Lady Lions.
Still, we've seen MACU be able to go on a run, reel off 5 and 6 points. It's happened a couple times tonight. In the sets in which they've had to try to make the comeback, they have not been successful if it got to 4 points or more. They did tie it up in both of those sets, but they couldn't finish it off. Will that be the same scenario that happens here? Or will they be able to dig deeper than before and do something extremely special?
It's interesting how quickly MACU comes out onto the court after a timeout. You know,
Yep.
we've seen it several
Yep,
times.
it does.
Coach Moore takes that full minute and 10,
Oh, yeah.
and he says what he needs to say, and they come back out.
Yep. He's yelling in some last-second instructions. Oh, big block by Jancy Akers and Emma Tompkins. Looked like it got most of Tompkins' hands. Forearms, I should say. That was hit hard. Ivy. Another ace. That was long, but it hit Plunk's hand. Oh! Not a good dig there. Hit hard.
But that's a play Coach Moore would say, just shake it off and we'll get the next one, especially at this point in the set. You just want to shake off any mistake, come back and be ready to recover.
Tompkins brings the heat, even though kind of out of position. Plunk gets it over. Mealer hits it hard, gets blocked. And tooled the block by Maddie Calicote. She's been very instrumental in this 5th set, scoring 4 of the 8 points. Great block again by the duo Tompkins and Akers. The Lady Lions can smell it. They're 2 points away from advancing to the semifinals of the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament. Postseason play has begun this Tuesday night. Calicote hits right into the block, and it gets blocked to the inside, which makes it a good point. The fans are into it. 1 more point left. This is for set and match point. Stalaby gets it in. They're going to their big hitter, Fokker. It's well defended by Ivy. Touch play. Oh, and that's out.
She's laughing. She knows she was a little not lined up there, but
yeah. Well, yeah, she didn't get back to her full position to run into the ball, so she had to react quickly.
She's got like 70 good blocks before that. That's right.
Yeah. Oh! And in midair, you could see Ava Myers change her mind about where she was going to go and tries to go down the line unsuccessfully. It's 14-10. Still set, match point. Walters gets it in. And that's very fitting. Jancy Akers had an error last time. They're squishing her to lose that 4th set, and she wins it with a big, clobberous hit down the middle. Your Lady Lions advance to round 2, the semifinals of the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Ooh, not without a fight.
No, and that's you know, you kind of have to expect that in tournament play, and especially it played out almost exactly right. We talked about it in the pregame, how you can't just come in and assume that you've won 6 out of 6 sets, that somehow MACU is going to walk in and just give you the match. It just doesn't work that way, and especially when it's one and done, you got to just absolutely expect that your opponent's going to bring their A game, their best game, and MACU found it within them to believe enough to come back from a 2-0 set deficit, tie it up miraculously. They played great, and hats off to the Lady Evangels for making this such a fabulous game and match to watch. It was the 4-5, so it was the middle pairing, the 2 closest, proverbially closest in skill level, and we saw that in the stats. So it was kind of played out like it should have, really kind of like you would think it would. And I can just say hats off to the Lady Evangels. You did a fantastic job tonight. And there's still a little more tournament life in your future if you go to the NCAA tournament. And I'm being told that Riker Russell is down on the floor with tonight's senior setter, Sophie Ivy. Talk to us, Riker. What does Sophie have to say?
Thanks, Sean. Sophie, what an exciting game. Y'all had won the first 2 sets, and then y'all dropped it in sets 3 and 4. But y'all came back. Y'all gave the crowd exactly what they wanted, and y'all won. Tell me how y'all beat MACU 3 times this season.
We just really come together as a team, going all hard the whole time, everyone playing their position, everyone doing the best that they can, and being loud. We work really hard on being loud, and that's really what the fans, they jump in, they're loud. I love it. It's perfect.
You have 2 days to prepare to play OCU in the semifinals. What do the Lions need to do to prepare for that game?
Each day is a new day, every day working hard, starting fresh. It's not anything from the past. Everyone's 0-0 right now, so we just got to go out, fight hard, play like that. Bring that energy every time.
And as a senior, it is your last home game. So tell me what your favorite memory as a Lion's been.
It's hard to say. There's a lot of them. But right now, I'm really excited. And so I'm going to say this game. It was definitely fun. It was definitely a memory maker, and I'll remember it forever because that was really fun, and I had a great time.
Over the weekend, we saw that you got engaged. So congratulations. We wish you the best, and congratulations to the team on the win tonight. So wish you all the best on Friday. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Riker. And the senior sensation setter for these Lady Lions just ended her SAGU volleyball career with a win. What a great way to go out. She did a lot of great things while she was here. And that, not the least of which, eclipsed the 5,000 assist mark, which is extremely rare. And we haven't. We know it's a SAGU record. We've been checking, trying to find out what the overall NAI record is. We have not found that yet, but it's got to be really close to either having the record or right there at the top. So what a fabulous career Sophie Ivy had here in the Schaefer Center for the last 4 years, and that was great. And congratulations to her and assistant coach Nick Moore. They just got engaged to be married. So congratulations, you two. What a great year it is, and I'm sure it's going to be a great future. As you can see, we got a big game, football game coming up this Saturday. It's the last football game of the season, but one of the top teams in the nation coming from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and that's Ottawa University of Arizona coming in to Lumpkin Stadium to play your SAGU Lions this Saturday. If you can make it out, it's great football weather. Come and enjoy the chilly nature or watch us on the SAGU Sports Network. It's been a pleasure and a joy bringing you this final volleyball match. Mrs. Webb, wipe the tears from your eyes. Any parting thoughts you would have for the fans?
Oh, I've had a great time. Thank y'all for a great season.
Yes, it's true. And I have had a great time making you look good. I'm sorry.
Whoa. Hold on.
That should, I
I
think
do
that
have some
flips.
final words.
I think we should flip that around. You make me look good, and I do appreciate it. And a big thanks to our student crew, Mindy Hodges, our student director, and producer James Lex. From all of the SAGU Sports Network, we bid you a great adieu and a good evening. You have been watching women's volleyball on the SAGU Sports Network.
Lions in the pack, never got slack, pushing for greatness, never looking